I guess it's your first day in the office as the new IT manager. So maybe you shouldn't do what I'm telling you to do right now, because I think you should push back and tell, dear Mr. or Mrs. CEO, what's our policy? How does it look like? Do we have a policy in place for our data? And how does it look like? And by the way, have we enforced it? So have we had IT and the development teams and the business, have they been following this? Have they been talking about this? Have you had lawyers involved in doing this, or have you had actually sections of your business going rogue, and actually doing things outside the control of IT because IT was perceived to be too slow and too old, I mean, so is there a policy in place, and have that policy been followed? You might get fired, the first day by asking that question, because most likely the answer is probably not fully. Things have happened. There has been business reasons for it. People are eager to get things done. So most likely you're inheriting some type of mess. And so you need to get starting somewhere. You need to get practical. But you absolutely have an interesting task on your hand, because you're trying to capture things that has already happened, and it is really hard. And data classification, as Grant mentioned, it's not an IT task really. It is a business question. What type of information do you have? How important is it? Do you have some specific laws that affects this data? That should be part of a decision where you eventually put your data. It's very likely that your organization, like most other organizations, hasn't really followed that. But you need to get going. Perhaps talk to the business people, to developers, say, okay, where are we? What have we done? What type of public cloud SaaS services do we have? Etc. So get a picture of it, because you will probably not say we have a super rigid policy in place, everyone has followed it, this is the map. You probably need to chase it in different places, would be my guess.
Right, exactly. So mapping and classifying what data and how what data levels, or how important the data is.
But also the rules are changing. The world is changing. It's not standing still. Because just a couple of months ago we had a new ruling on the privacy policies for data, GDPR versus Cloud Act. So suddenly we have some rulings in courts in Europe. So the world is changing. So what you did in the past might not be correct for the future. But you have to in some way try to identify where it is and what type of data, and that's going to be quite a big task.